Welcome back. This is Brenda, Power Medicine Woman, and what a learning experience. Nothing has to do with failure except for the just steps to the greatness. I'm so glad that all of you were able to communicate and to learn and to help me see things I couldn't see. So thank you for being my eyes and ears and my different perspective of my world. And I'm going to tell you about that. Oh, there we go again. It is about this mirror called life, especially when you have dreams. When you have dreams, they're symbols, but they are literally, the people in it are literally you. So if you don't like that person in your dream, it is an aspect of you that you don't like or don't want to return to, or you don't want to happen. But it takes on a whole new way of looking at a perspective of life. That is one of the huge things I teach people. It's like, why do shit happen to you? Well, when you're in your hells of your life, which means you're not creating heaven, and people are being backstabbing, controlling, throwing their shit at you, you have to understand it has nothing to do about them at that point. It is the programs your soul said, oh, I need someone to treat me like shit today. Oh, I'll do it, said the soul. Or you've done a lot of healing and now you're moving, but you don't know how to let go because you think these people are great. Oh, I'll show you. I'll raise my hand and I'll show you that I'm a real dick today. And I don't think in the same wavelength as you. We're not in sync, And so they save you the trouble by getting rid of you. Which, in a way, it's a godsend. Because then you don't have to say goodbye. You have to remember, two souls will come together on the spiritual plane. That's what we're just going to say. And one thing Spirit has taught me is that, okay, so just imagine I'm standing in front of the classroom and I'm getting ready to write my soul contract. I looked out and I'm like, okay, I have to learn to be defensive. Got to take it personal. Who's going to be the first to do that? All of a sudden, this hand, these little bright lights, they're all in front, like 1,000 or more. And this little bright light raises its hand. I'll be your mommy. Okay. So then you and that soul communicate about how she has to go through not being loved by her kid, maybe. So, you both have two different stories. And you both are right. And you both are going to get to the conclusion of where you're supposed to feel and to be as that human living in an ego world, because it's just a land of illusion. It did me no good, but you all did so well that they reviewed it and sent you apologies. Oh, I'm so sorry. There was nothing wrong with it. Not sure what happened, but I do know. Why did that happen to me? Okay. It has a lot to do with, and I had done a lot of healing on it already. Let's see if I can remember. In my stomach meridian, there was anxiety. Anxiety that I was going to do the wrong thing, the right thing. Now, again, not in this conscious state. This was a program that was written when I was 2 years old. You think a 2-year-old part of you that's dead and gone, you're still alive and well. Every age of you is still alive in this dimensional spiral. Okay? This is the one you're viewing through at this particular point. And so that had to come up, and I had to heal the indifference of feeling, not really caring and concerned about it, because I really didn't see an issue with it. But yet I had to, because if I were to go back to that 2-year-old said, I have to silently brood because I can't be me. Somebody's going to shut me down. A 2-year-old. But a lot of you have kids. You can actually look at your children and look at how innocent they are. But if they're experiencing life because mommy yelled at me, they're processing how to cope, deal, handle, manage, whatever. What the hell does that mean? They're going to make sense of the world. At the same time, they don't know how to control their world of their emotions. Of, I really want what I want. And you have to get over that hurdle that I don't understand why you don't give me what I want. It's all awakening up to these particular emotions. I hope this makes sense. Okay. And again, I am so thankful for doing that, because as a kid, nobody stood up for me. So one, because you stood up for me and you protested and you told me and you gave me support, was something I really never had. I started to really get that when I stepped into who I was in my 30s. And that was a big leap. Oh, to come from people that, no, this is a no-no. You can't be that. You can't do that. If you do that, please don't do it in front of me. It was, and so I would always have to, oh, don't rock the boat. Don't say that. Don't do this. And then it was, oh, everybody else's world. Everybody else's world. I have an emotion. You can't have one. You're like, what? And and you just have to decide if you want to be with those people. When you begin to grow and to heal, you realize you have to say, bye-bye. You're done. They decided not to grow with you, and they pissed because you've changed. No, I just got my wings, baby. It's time for me to fly. And you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And the hardest part for certain people is that they just want to keep you, they're in the same perspective, in the same belief system that they've always known in. How dare you change that on them? You betrayed me. You hurt me. And it sounds so crazy, but their perspective of you is different. You know, I just want you to get that. A lot of people don't understand, though, that when we create a mirror, you, all of you, are an aspect of me. Good, bad, and different. You are the different parts of my perspective, different parts of my belief system, the different levels of my emotions. And if I'm stuck on one in particular, I will have that person in my face, especially if my soul is saying to me, can you heal that now? That's all it ever asks you, is to resolve to evolve. And so as I begin to look at everything around me, don't waste it. And when you waste it, what do I mean? When the shit happens, that is what I don't want you to waste, is that experience. No matter how crazy it is, there's actually leads back through an entanglement cord to a particular time of how you as a child rearranged everything to understand this world. When you look through life, as somebody says, it is so true, though, you are not allowed to grow and learn. And that is definitely an old paradigm, which we all are learning with the fifth dimension coming in, that it doesn't have to be that anymore. And you have to be bold enough to grow. I have over 30 years of experience that really is about knowing how to see things that nobody else can see. Spirit has taught me very fine-tunedly about specific things so you can evolve by resolving. So resolve to evolve and heal instead of deal. Most people just don't, can I manage it? Can I deal with it? Can I do this? No, we're done with that paradigm. We're done with that. Everybody's an aspect. And when you look at them, the moment you start to react, you're already attached. I call those twangs. If you know what a twang is, then, you know, and you're going to learn the glossary. If you follow me, you'll see that I have a Empowerment Through Enlightenment glossary. And when you feel anything less than love, stop doing that, camera. You end up noticing when you're missing the mark. It's called sinning. that threw me off when I learned that. Anything that's less than love is a sin, because your alignment is off. You're off. And you're learning how to be realigned to love. It's not the old way that people have believed it to be. So you have to relearn what it means. And when you get realigned, especially going through your higher mind, your higher self, and through your heart, oh, then everything else starts to make sense. And some of you, I may be sounding like I'm talking over your head. Some of you may have and be overwhelmed. Some of you, this may be just a seed, or some of you are going, oh yeah, that all makes sense. It's a level of perspective that you have. The knowledge that's in here, when spirits and information, your higher self, your guides communicate with you, they will take and say, oh, she knows this. And so then they'll start talking about this, having you make all these coincidences and things move in and out. And then you start to grasp, you get, you grow. I have spirits that come to the other side. They can't just come to me and say, can you tell so-and-so? And, you have to go through the first 15 minutes of how they died, how you know them, all this and that. I don't really play that game. So they'll come through and they say, okay, you know what? I saw them have that behavior because that you learn what this means. And then they'll tell me that they have this particular feeling and all this other stuff. So they tell me all the stuff they'd like to see you grow. And so when I'm talking to the spirit side, I'm talking to them about how they see that your soul is ready to grow. It has nothing to do with flaws. Good God, let's get rid of that word. Sorry. You're going to learn discernment.